Book Boss team leaders. Welcome to Leadership with UBAM. So I'm really excited to kind of break down what being a team leader looks like in the future of leadership with this company, and give you some of just the basic information. So let's hop in. So first thing, goals and commission, part of the fun part of being a team leader. So just to break down some key terms is your central group is going to be your direct recruits and their recruits and their recruits, basically until somebody promotes out. So that would be if you were Aaron, all of those people that are directly under you. And then whenever somebody promotes out from under you, they become your first line team leader. And so that would be like Mindy or Katie. And whenever they promote to your first line, they take their direct recruits and their recruits with them. And then if somebody in your first line, like Katie, had somebody promote out Carly, then Carly and her direct recruits and their recruits would become your second line. So for your central group as well as yourself, you are going to get an additional 8.5% commission. And then once you start promoting out leaders, you will make 5.5% on your first line, 4% on your second line, and 1% on your third line. But you do only get paid on your third line once you are the exact level and up. Typically, those go hand in hand. Oftentimes, promoting out that third level leader is the hardest part to promote to executive leader. And then you also get promote out bonuses, which we'll jump into that a little more in depth in a minute. And then just a note that for any special programs like Cards for a Cause, book drives, things like that, you're going to get the half percentage. So for instance, like your second line right now, you're getting a 4% bonus for a book drive. For your second line, you would just get 2% commission. And then of course, when you sell $1,000 personally in a month, you also get that 4% bonus. So as a team leader on your own personal sales, you can make 37.5% each month, which is pretty awesome. Okay, so once your back office flips over, it's going to look a little bit different than from when you were just a consultant. And so this is the area that now as a team leader you are going to use a lot. And so now you'll have the breakdowns of each of your levels. So right now you might just have your central group, but once you promote out first, second, and third line leaders, you'll have people under that tab. But whenever you click there, it's going to give a detailed breakdown of everybody in your central group, or once you have first level leaders, their central group. So you can look at the sales by months. You can even click on it to get more information. So this is great to see at a glance who is doing well in your central group, who are those potential future leaders and things like that. And then we also can view the team leader tracker for our downline as well. And then once you have any leaders below you, you can view their team leader minimums tracker. And so you just enter in their consultant ID right here and press go, and then you will be able to see anybody, their team leader tracker. So if you have people working on promotion, this is a great way to help stay up to date, look at their stats, how they're doing. And another cool thing is your lineage report. And so again, once you promote out leaders, you can select for a month and press go, and it's going to show you kind of your family tree. And then another cool thing is consultant sales history. So if you click there, you could either look at your own sales history or somebody in your downline. So for instance, for convention awards, they look at April through the next March. So if we were looking at like your personal sales for personal sales for a downline in a year, or even your executive sales for like $1 million team, for instance. You could do that through consultant sales history, and it's going to add up whatever months you select so you can see it all at a glance. So that's just a handy little feature to have. And then, of course, if you were to scroll down, you would be able to see the people in your downline that are in their incentive period, as well as your own team leader tracker, but it's going to show your minimums, and as well as the new upper level leader tracker. So you can see what you need to hit the next levels of leadership. And so speaking of next levels of leadership, here are the next steps beyond that. So next would be senior team leader, and that is 2 first level leaders and 1 second level. And so that second level has to be under the first level. And when you promote to senior team leader, you get a branded watch. Then at the executive level, you need 3 first lines, a second line, and a third line. And also, once you hit this executive level, you get a tiara at convention. You get invited to the executive leadership conference every January, so just for those executive leaders and up. And then you also start getting paid 1% on your third line. And then you'll get a Tiffany's crown necklace at convention. The next level is senior executive leader. So again, you get a tiara at convention that's a little bit bigger. You get a branded leather satchel. You get invited to the executive leadership convention. You're getting paid on that third level. And so you need 4 first lines, 2 second lines, and 1 third line. And then director, you need 6 first lines, and within your executive group, you need 1 executive leader. And so you get a bigger tiara at convention, you get the gold ring, and then also at that director level is when you get access more so to home office. And so you do Zoom calls once a week with home office. You get to give a lot of input and feedback to the way things are with home office. And so you really get to be a voice for your team and really get to kind of influence things that happen with our company. And then the newest leadership level is senior director. And so that is 10 first line leaders, a director on one of your executive levels. And then you need to be with the company for at least 2 years. And so you also receive the iPad Pro setup as your promotion gift, as well as a $5,000 bonus. And then you also get a even bigger tiara at convention. And you're still being invited to the executive leadership conference, but senior directors also will have a few extra perks at ELC. They will have a special little thing, and then at convention as well, they will have a special event just for them. Okay, so you've promoted, now what? So leader story continued. I'll explain that a little more in just a minute, but you can get a $500 cash bonus for hitting leader story continued. As a team leader, you have team leader minimums, which I kind of briefly mentioned before. But instead of thinking about those minimums, I encourage you to think about instead maximums. Set a goal for your business right now. And so don't think in terms of minimums. Instead, think about what your goal is. Is it HOC 2 every month? Is it HOC 1 and a new recruit? What does that look like? So I know you've just left a season where you were hitting it really hard to meet the goal of team leader, and you might be feeling like, I just want to breathe and take a break, which that is okay, but still have a goal for yourself, whatever works for your family. Okay, and so kind of in terms of maximum, so if you keep building your team and work up to $20,000 Central Group sales each month and HOC2, what would your monthly income look like for that? And as a side note, don't feel like this needs to be your goal right now. This is something that you would work up to. And this is not what to expect, your first couple months as a brand new team leader. But just to give you an idea of some income potential, we'll look at that in just a minute. Okay, so a leader story continue that I mentioned just a moment ago. So for the next 3 months, if you do $1,000 personally, $2,750 team sales, and so just like when you promoted, your $1,000 is counted in that $2,750. So for the next 3 months, you have 5 success-bound recruits total. So that is including the 3 you already had to promote. You will get a $500 cash bonus, which is super exciting. Okay, team leader minimums, which I mentioned before. So as team leaders, we do have minimums, and it is per quarter. So per quarter, it is $1,000 personally, $4,000 team sales. And again, your $1,000 is included in the $4,000 team sales. And if you are keeping up with your personal business, you're still recruiting, you're still working your business, these are very easy to hit. They only become hard when you let your central group die and you stop working. But if you were working and doing your thing with your business, you can easily hit those, probably within the first month of the quarter. So definitely not something to stress about if you were working your business. Okay, so we mentioned before, if you made the goal and worked up to $20,000 central group sales and HOC2 every month, what would your commission look like? So for your personal sales, you would get $500 commission. You would have a team leader override of $1,700. You'd get your $80 sales bonus, so your 4%, which would add up to $2,280 each month, which would be $27,360 per year. Plus, you're getting a new central group member each month, and you're getting those HOC2 prizes, 1 and 2 prizes every month. And so also a side note with commission, we do each week you still get your normal sales commission, but the 5th business day of the month is when you get what we call your override check, which is the commission you make off of your downlines. Okay, and then just at a glance, if for each of these leadership levels, they just had the bare minimum of leaders needed to be at that position, and each of those leaders was doing HOC2 every month, $20,000 central group sales. These are the potential numbers that you could earn. And so, of course, you're not going to have every one of your leaders doing that. You might not be doing that, but just to give you an idea of the income potential. Okay, promote out bonuses. So when you promote out a team leader, you get a bonus. And so at the team leader level, you get $250. When you promote to senior team leader through senior executive leader, you get a $500 bonus, and director and up, you get a $1,000 bonus. And so when you promote somebody out, you get half of the bonus up front, and if that new team leader hits leader story continued, then you get the other half. So for example, you would get $125 on the front end, and 3 months later, when they hit leader story continued, you would get the other $125. So if you are helping people promote out, it can be very beneficial to you. Okay, growth, power of 10. So the power of 10 is an idea shared from Belinda Ellsworth, who is an amazing direct sales kind of coach. She spoke at Usborne Convention in 2016, but her thing is called the power of 10. And basically the idea is that you have 10 central group members working at all times. And so, keep those people visible. If you promote somebody out and they take some people with them, you are replacing those people with new recruits. Or if somebody stops working, then you're replacing them. And so if you always keep 10 people working at all times, you are going to have a rocking central group. Okay, responsibilities. So for new team members, you want to get to know those new consultants. You want to continue to add your upline leader to messages, especially this first month or two. So they are going to be letting you take the lead in all those messages, but they are going to be there for backup to help coach you on the back end. But on the front end with that new consultant and that group message, they are letting you take the lead. So you're going to train them, walk them through typically their first 3 parties. So typically that is their launch party and 2 hostess parties. And depending on the consultant, sometimes that looks different. If they are totally rocking it, go-getter, they might only need those first 2 parties. If they need a little more hand-holding, sometimes it's 4 parties. And so normally that second hostess party, I try to give them a little more rope on that one. I'm still like helping them and reminding them, but giving them a little more freedom to fly. You'll add them to our week 1 and week 2 training pages. You'll add them to Thrive product knowledge. You'll check in daily, answer questions, encourage them, cheer them on, send them a new consultant packet, which this can look a little bit different, but I do like to encourage my leaders to send them the prizes for their launch party. And so I typically do either a phonics reader or one of the beginner animal nonfiction, and then I'll do 2 runner-up prizes. So usually like a set of wipe clean cards or 2 sets of wipe clean cards and maybe a set of coloring bookmarks, or there's some kind of freedom there. But I do think it's nice that we help our brand new consultants out with that. And then on our Book Boss leader page are some printables that you can use for those new consultant packets. And then encourage bookings before their launch party happens. Okay, and then for our Book Boss team page, attending team meetings when you can, helping with challenges, helping with trainings, helping with prizes. If you have ideas, sharing them. How can we make our team better? I'm always on the team page being positive, checking in and answering, helping to answer questions on the team page, really just a couple minutes per day. Monthly, we'll have little leader committee jobs, which you get to sign up for which ones you're interested in. And then for that next month, that is your job. And then welcome new team members on welcome posts, celebrate successes. And so one thing to remember, kind of along with being positive on the team page, again, always want to be positive. And then if you ever do need to vent, you always want to vent up, never down. So never down to your downline, but up to your team leader or your upline. Okay, keeping your sanity. And so as you're training those new consultants and the people on your team, you want to keep the things that you are doing duplicatable. You want them to be able to do what you are doing. You want to show them that they can do this too. And, keep it stupid, simple. And so that's what KISS is. Again, you're making things easy, making them feel like they can do it. So don't quit working. So again, I know we talked about you just hit this big goal. You probably are a little bit tired, but don't quit working your business. And then on the flip side, don't work all of the time. So if you have your Facebook Messenger notifications on your phone, I want to encourage you to turn those off, because it's really easy to look and think, oh, that's just a quick little question. I'll answer that really quick. And so set some times that are either like your work times, or maybe you have times instead that are your I'm not working times, and sticking to those. Read or listen to something motivating daily or weekly. We have on our big UBAM leaders page, there's a little book club each month with some awesome like leadership and business books and some discussion. There's some amazing podcasts and blogs and YouTube videos available, but I encourage you to just keep pouring into yourself, into your business in that way. And then you still want to prioritize your own work in your own business. You want to be spending still the majority of the time on your personal business, and then a smaller amount of time with your team. And of course, as your team grows and you continue to promote up, that starts to flip a little bit. But right now, as a brand new team leader, you want to be spending the majority of the time on your personal business. And then work with those who are working. And so I like to give my time to brand new consultants in their first 30 days, promotion bound consultants, and really just those that are actually working. So if somebody in my Central group is not working at all, I'm not checking in with them super often, just a random check-in here and there, but I'm giving the majority of my time to the people on my team that are working. And so those are just some quick tips for being a new team leader.